Hey, what's up, all you cool ghouls and friendly fiends, and welcome to the Crypt of Classics, hosted by House of the Unusual. My name is Joe, and today we are going to talk about monsters we've known and loved. So on this Halloween special edition of Crypt of Classics, we look back at monsters we've known and loved with several classic horror movies from Universal Pictures. So if you were with our podcast last week, it came out a few days before Halloween, we talked about some classic Universal monsters, and you guys all know the names, you all know the titles, but what I wanted to do is take you back to those movies. So if you haven't seen them for a while, or if you're looking for something to watch, these are the perfect ones to watch any time of year, but especially during Halloween. So before we get into it, hit that subscribe button down there, click the notification bell, like our videos. We're posting every week. Eddie's always got some great stuff coming up. We got Chuck's Corner, Chuck Caputo, great horror magician. If you've never seen him, check out the videos, like his videos and all that. Also, check us out on houseoftheunusual.com. So, without getting any more off the subject, let's get right into it. So, I'm going to give you some 6 Universal monster titles, and then I'm going to give you kind of like my order of how I like them. And then what I want you to do is leave us down in the comments. Let us know what order they would be in for you. What's your favorite ones? What's your least favorite ones? And why? Let us know. You could also go houseoftheunusual.com on our forum. There's a section called Crypt of Classics where you could talk about these movies on there as well, and we'll get some great discussions going. So we're going to talk about... I'm not going to get real deep into these movies because there's a ton of books and articles, and most of you guys already know everything about these movies, so I'm not going to talk down to you, but I'm just going to go through them real quick. We'll give a few of my, I don't know, I guess my opinion about them, and then I'll give you my order with what I like them. So, first off, without, not going in order of anything, just going in order by years, we have Dracula here. Looks like my DVD's a little scuffed up, but we have Dracula from 1931. We have Frankenstein, 1931. We have The Mummy, 1932. Invisible Man, 1933. The Wolfman, 1941. And finally, last but not least, Creature from the Black Lagoon, 1954. So those are the ones we're going to talk about real quick. Each one of these movies, they're special in their own way, and they're special for each of us in their own way. They might not be the best movies ever made, but to us, they always hold a special place in our hearts. I know that it's like that for me, especially with my favorite, which is the Bela Lugosi Dracula from 1931. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. And I know it's not the best. Lugosi's the best, but the movie's not the best. If you've ever seen the Spanish version, it's far more superior, far more dynamic. We talk a little bit about that in the podcast that corresponds with this this video. But it would have been really nice if they did the Mexican version with those dynamics, putting Lugosi in there would have been absolutely fantastic. But Dracula is one of my favorites, and I've talked about this many times on the podcast before and why it's my favorites. And just real quick, why I have these DVDs up. These are what I use to watch the Universal movies. They're absolutely fantastic. On the back, you have all the sequels for the titles, and then most of them have commentary, different film scores. You have some poster galleries and all that. So I absolutely love those. I know there's a ton of different DVDs out there, Blu-rays. One day I'll get the Blu-rays, but until then, these the Legacy Collection are still some of my favorites, and you can find these out there still fairly cheap, I believe, probably on Amazon and eBay. So Dracula is my absolute favorite. You can't beat Lugosi as Dracula. If you go up to any kid, no matter how old he is, anybody, and say, give me your impression of Dracula, they're going to go, I want to suck your blood, from this guy right here. He is the one that made Dracula. That is him. So that's my favorite. Going down to my second one is definitely Boris Karloff Frankenstein. You can't beat it. Everything about it. I love the scenery of the lab, and just all like the sparks and the sounds that are going off, and yeah, they don't do anything but just looks cool as hell. So this is my favorite. Boris Karloff, to me, he is Frankenstein's monster. Everybody has their own favorites. You can't go wrong with the original. This one also has, the same thing, has everything on it. All these legacy collections all have the sequels, commentaries and whatnot, and different short documentaries on them, some different stuff. So the second one I would have to say is definitely the creature from the Black Lagoon. I had the opportunity to meet Rico Browning and what's her name? Her name's escaping me. You know who I'm talking about. The girl from the first one. Come on, you guys know. But anyways, I had the opportunity to meet them several years ago at Monster Bash, and I was able to get their autographs. Super nice people, and they are some of the last surviving members from the Universal Monsters. The girl, and for some reason I can't remember her name, and now it's going to really really upset me that I can't remember it, because I have her picture hanging on my wall, and she died I believe a year or so ago. Rico Browning is still around, but Creature is definitely my third favorite out of those. You know what? I don't know out of the last three which one I like the most. It depends on what day of the week it is, I guess. So, I'm not sure. Okay, I have to look real quick on here, because for some reason the name is escaping me. And as soon as I see it, I'm going to say, yep, that's her. Julie Adams. Guys, I'm sorry out there. Sorry, I forgot the name. Julie Adams was with Rico Browning. She passed away not too long ago, sadly, but super nice people. But anyways, out of these last three, the Mummy, Invisible Man, and the Wolfman, I could go with these. I could go either way. I definitely have to say one of my, I would say, last is the Invisible Man, and that's not anything towards the Invisible Man. It's just he's to me, it's not really like a monster. When you're looking at, the Mummy and the Wolfman, they're actual, monsters. Less so of the Mummy, because he was a human, and he's kind of still is, but he's a living mummy. I guess you could go either way with that. Same thing with the Wolfman, and basically all the characters, but still the Invisible Man, he's just a man who's invisible. And I do love the movie and all the sequels. Some of them kind of get a little bit cheesy, but I would say this is last. And if I really had to put, I would say second to the last, Mummy, and third to the last, the Wolfman. Ask me next week, and it'll probably change. But that's what I think with the Universal Monsters. Dracula, I mean, these two, can't beat. Still the best out there, but hey, that's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So let me know what you guys think about the Universal Monsters. What's your favorites? What's your least favorites, and why? Let us know in the comments, or head over to houseoftheunusual.com. You'll see under the forum site, it will say Cryptic Classics. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see our Halloween edition, monsters we've known and loved. And let us know what you think there. And make sure you visit us every Thursday, because that's when our podcast hits. And we're always talking about some exciting things. Nothing's really scripted. It's just us kind of hanging out and talking about whatever we want to talk about. So make sure you check us out. So like always, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of us, and hope to see you next time. Have a good night.